Hello, my name is Stephen and welcome to my flat. I've managed to get my own place and I live independently from my mum and dad. But many people with learning difficulties still live with their parents who care for them throughout their lives. Some parents let go, some hold on, but all have a question that sits at the back of their mind. What will happen to our loved one when we are no longer here? I would like to introduce George and Jeff. George is an older carer who provides love and support to his son Jeff, but he's aware of planning for a time when he's no longer here.
Jeffrey is at the moment 57 years of age. He has his mother's personality and warmth. But Jeffrey has got this knack of making people like him. And sometimes I envy that. He needs company. To be isolated in a place by himself would be no good to Jeffrey. He would just become completely withdrawn. When my wife died 12 years ago, I couldn't see more than a year ahead. And I could quite easily, at that stage, have put Jeffrey into care. But I didn't, and over these years I've found that instead of living in an empty house, I have a son who comes in there. When he comes in, there's music, there's laughter. It's a two-way contract. I benefit from having to look after Jeffrey. The one nagging problem, of course, which must be everyone's concern, is what happens to Jeffrey when I'm not here. That is a daily problem. I think about that every day. But every week, every month, every year he's with me, that's 1 year less that he's going to be in care. And hopefully, I'd like to think that perhaps that I can have several more years with him. The thing that I can't answer and no one else can answer is how long is a piece of string? How much longer have I got left?
I would like to introduce Brenda and her son Lee. When he was little, she was a bit worried. When he went to school, she was worried. You understand how difficult it was when Lee moved away from home.
I always thought Lee would never leave home, and I thought when he was young, I used to think when I get old and can't look after Lee, then we'll probably both go together. If I was left on my own with him, I wouldn't let anybody else have him. He is in his own house now and he has moved on, but it's us that's taken a lot longer to move on. We can see a big difference in him. He's a lot more independent. And the consolation is Lee's making a life for himself where we play just a small part. I felt when he left home that nobody would know him, and people would think, oh, he's just that man that lives up the street. People with a learning disability, it isn't easy for them to make new friendships, and it isn't easy for them to continue friendships, but it isn't like that. The neighbours are good. The neighbours have got to know him and the local shopkeepers. So I find that quite reassuring to know that his support staff are helping him to be known in his community. For me to look to the future, to know if we weren't here apart from his family, Lee had friends that could just knock on the door and say, hello, how are you, I've come for a cup of tea. So I think friends independent of us, friends independent, like a family, his own friends. And I think hopefully the staff would support him in making new friendships.
Friends and relationships are a crucial part of planning for the future. It's all a part of creating a good life. I managed to create those friendships around me. People I love, my friends, people I know, people paid to support me. Just having paid people in my life is not the same as real relationships. Developing social networks and having friends and colleagues is vital to having a good, independent and supported life. Relationships are difficult, but they are important. But the question is, what are we going to do about that?